Hello everybody, thanks for joining me again. So today we're going to take a look at making nice, wide but mono-compatible sounds in Vital. So here I've got a clip, let's have a look. Okay, so this main lead, you'll have noticed, unless you're listening on a mono system, that it's nice and wide. Okay, so now let's listen to that lead again, but with this monoizer on. And without. Okay, so you'll notice that when monoized, it doesn't destroy the sound. There's no sort of phasing artifacts, and it pretty much sounds just the same as it does when it's wide, just without the width. Okay, so this is really useful because we're making music for large sound systems, which a lot of the time are in mono, and people's phones and things like that. And you don't really want especially if it's a important sound in your track, like a main lead or something, you don't want that to cancel out or sound really sort of bad in mono. Okay, so to get this to work, let's get Vital. Okay, so I've also copied over autoplay from Altar of Wisdom. Of course, always use this for generating MIDI. If you're interested in it, find it in the link beneath. Okay, so let's open Vital, and as you can see in the original patch, we've got control over the timbre, and we've got control over how wide it is. Okay, so let's initialize this patch, and you can use any waveform you like, but I've really been enjoying these side tables. Side tables volume 2. Volume 1's also very good, but volume 2 is my new favorite from Dada. If you're interested in these, you can find them in the link beneath. These really are sort of in my opinion, the holy grail of psytrance wavetables. There's no sort of one pack that really packs a punch quite like these two. Anyway, let's just choose the first one. Okay, so we've got like a little additive kind of, almost like a bandpass FM tone kind of sound, but not, I suppose. Anyways, because this is only taking up a small portion of the spectrum as we go through the waveform, let's do some FM with it. Only a little bit probably though. And let's grab a sine wave and turn it right down and probably pitch it down, but let's see what happens. Or maybe not. Maybe let's leave it. Yeah, really adds a lot of sort of thickness to this sound. Lovely. Okay, so just chuck a macro on there. Fabulous. Right, so this is where the interesting part is. So let's take a look at this level knob. So this is just the volume of this oscillator. So I'm just going to set it all the way full, and I'm going to take LFO1 and chuck it on there and set it to all the way back to 0. Okay, and then I'm going to just draw a shape like this, like a square, but not quite. And we'll keep a tiny bit of smooth. And then we want key track. Okay. So now we should get a AM tone, so amplitude modulation, whereby the volume is going up and down according to this LFO. Really common effect used, especially for those sort of darker tones. And now, this is where it gets interesting. Let's use the stereo modulator. Okay, but let's tune this up a bit, and let's use octave intervals. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a nice wide lead now. Mind out for the smooth of this. If you have the smooth right down, you'll get sort of buzzing sound, which you might like, that's fine, but I prefer it without it. Okay, we can control how wide this is going with this stereo knob. I'll just leave it up full for now. Okay, so yeah, we can keep going up in octave intervals and just find a point where we like it, really. But if you go up too high, you will start to get audible artifacts, which you might like, but beware, they will disappear in mono. Okay, so I'm just going to chuck this back down to 0. To me, that's a nice sort of balance between the texture you get from the AM and the width we're getting from it. Okay, so that's more or less it. Let's just make sure it works in mono. Okay, so there we have it, a nice wide sound that translates well between mono and stereo. Okay, so hope you all enjoyed the video. If you want the patch that I showed off earlier on, you can find that in my Discord channel. Otherwise, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.